y'all, it's your girl LA in LA, and today, as you can see by the title of this video, we are going to be talking about the pros and cons of going to a PWI. For anybody who doesn't know or is new to this channel, welcome. Subscribe, first of all. If you don't know, I go to Loyola Marymount University in Los Angeles, California. I'm actually sitting in the library right now, studying, getting work done. Believe it or not, I already have filmed this video before, but I was really sick yesterday when I filmed it, so I have to refilm. Like, I was supposed to be editing, but now I'm filming again. So here we are. It's just a cycle that continues. Another PSA, you guys, I'm kind of still sick, so I will be drinking my lovely medicine ball throughout this video. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if I do things like that, cough or anything like that. I'm still getting over a cold, guys, so don't judge me, okay? Don't you guys hate when you drink a Starbucks drink and then your entire DNA is like imprinted on the like rim of the drink? I mean, I don't know if you can see it right there, but there you go. For anyone who cares or wants to know, a medicine ball is just like a bunch of different kind of teas with a little bit of honey, I believe, and some lemonade. It's really good. If you've never heard of this amazing concoction, definitely order it at Starbucks. It's totally worth it, guys, though. It makes me feel so much better whenever I'm sick, so let's just dive right into the video and get started on this topic. PWI, for anybody who doesn't know, is an acronym for predominantly white institution, and that can either mean a school or a specific field, but it is just predominantly white, unfortunately. So guys, I've been very excited to film this video. As you know, I already mentioned I filmed this video yesterday. So here we are re-filming, which is actually really good because I realized yesterday when I filmed, I wasn't being like too clear about specific things. I want to be clear for you guys. I want to clarify things. I want the information I give you guys to be as accurate as possible according to the information I know and the information that is publicly accessible to you guys. So let's see if we can make this happen. So the way I'm going to structure this video is first I'm going to talk about the pros of going to a PWI, and then I'm going to talk about the cons of going to a PWI. So we'll just, you know, make it work. So the first pro I have about going to a PWI is definitely the exposure you get to the real world, you guys. The real world I'm talking about here is specifically the United States. If we're being honest, the US is overly populated by a lot of people who are of European descent, which ends up meaning that a lot of the professional fields are whitely dominated, and that's kind of sad, honestly, but it is the reality of life in the US. As unfortunate as it is to say, it's important to have those experiences and be aware that if you are a minority, you are not going to be a majority in the professional field that you are probably going into. If we're being honest, unless it centers around your culture specifically. And I feel like it's good to go to a PWI in that sense because it helps you assimilate into the reality that you will most likely be in if you are in the US for the most part. I obviously don't want to assume anything, but I feel like if you click this video, you are probably someone who is a minority, a woman of color, a man of color. I want you guys to have someone who's like a real person tell you guys these things because I mean, I've experienced it, and why not share with you guys if I can, and I can, so I'm sharing. The second pro I'm going to talk about actually stems from the first pro that I have. Again, I obviously go to a PWI. I've never been to an HBCU. I have no idea, but this is just me making a general assumption based on some information that I have going to a PWI. That's as much as I can give you, to be quite honest. But I feel like going to an HBCU or a school that is exclusive to your specific minority or specific race, as great as that is not the real world. Again, like I mentioned, you are not going to be surrounded by every single person that looks like you, unfortunately, or fortunately, if you think about it. It could go either way. But I think it's truly important to be open and be aware of other people around you, be aware of your surroundings. Like, there's so many different cultures around you, and that's kind of why I feel like a PWI kind of prepares you for the real world, which was gonna be my third pro, but it kind of fits in right here. The real world in the US is basically whitely dominated. That's true in the sense of professional fields or really any other field. You will probably find yourself being a minority, which is why the word minority exists. That's why I think it's a really good idea to prepare yourself for situations like that, and a PWI does that so well, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's the one thing for sure. I've nailed. So the third pro is that you probably have a huge Black community on campus because everybody knows each other, which is kind of amazing in my opinion. Even though it might be like a small community, that's kind of what I like about it, because you know everybody in your community, you build like really strong relationships with everybody. I think that's amazing. I love that about LMU, and I love that about the Black community at LMU specifically. And I'm sure that goes for other PWIs. Maybe it might not be a big Black community. Don't worry, I relate. We have not the biggest one here, but it's nice to be able to connect with people who share the same struggles as you know? And the last pro I have for you guys about going to a PWI is the amount of people you will meet, you guys. There's honestly a lot more diversity than you think. Even though it is predominantly a white institution, it does not mean that that white does not necessarily have culture. There's a lot of people who are from Europe. There's a lot of people who are from different places in the States. Like, it's pretty diverse. I mean, PWIs are kind of a little bit more on the expensive side, so you meet a lot of different kind of people, honestly. You meet a lot of people who might be really marginalized and not have a lot of resources, and you might meet somebody who drives a different Lamborghini every day. You never know. So now that we've talked about the pros, we gotta talk about the cons, guys. And there's a few of them. And the cons, depending on what kind of person you are, who you are, and I'm not saying what you identify as racially, but I'm just saying like the person, like, are you super sensitive? Are you not sensitive at all? And Alex is coming into here. Perfect representation for PWI, guys. Come here, Alex.
That is me, to a T. I even have my Starbucks cup.
Wow, talk about white. No kidding. Sorry guys, I told you guys I'm sick. A con that I found about going to a PWI is the microaggressions. Obviously, if you're a minority watching this video, you probably already know it's really hard to escape microaggressions and stereotypes and all those kind of things. As unfortunate as that is, that happens at PWIs too. It may even happen a little bit more just because a lot of people at PWIs are also not as well-rounded in knowledge in the sense of like culture. A lot of people at PWIs don't really know culture, which sucks, but like you can teach them. And I think that's like the upside of it, even though it is kind of a con. I think people can learn, you know? And that kind of goes hand in hand with the second con that I have, which is ignorance. Y'all, you will find ignorance literally everywhere, but I'm telling you, at a PWI, you will find it more often than you expect. And I mean, again, that kind of goes hand in hand with the last con, but I think you can really teach people. I think that's like a good thing about being a minority in a predominantly white institution. You can teach people about your culture, your habits, make them understand that what they already know isn't actually true, or like what they may think they know. So another con that I have about PWIs are definitely the entitlement that comes with the school. And LMU specifically, there's like people here that literally drive different cars every week. I'm not kidding. Like one day you'll see somebody with like a red Porsche, and then you'll see somebody with a Lamborghini the next day. And it's just like, I don't know. So that's kind of a little bit weird to see if you're not used to that environment. Seeing people who are entitled at PWIs might make you more motivated to do those things and get those, you know, specific material items if that is something that you are interested in. I mean, me personally, I mean, you're lucky to have that car. I don't strive to have that specific car, but I strive to make a difference. And like, if that comes with like a bunch of money, that's awesome. And if it doesn't, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, that's just something to also be aware of at PWIs. There is a lot of entitlement going around. Obviously, one of the biggest cons is the price that you have to pay to go to a PWI. It is really expensive, you guys. Super, super expensive. If you do not get financial aid, if you do not get the aid that you need, do not even commit to it, because it's not worth it. It's not worth, you know, spending all that money. Like, who has $70K to just drop? It's important to watch the schools you apply to. It's important to make sure that you let them know your financial needs and let them know what you can and can't afford. And that goes for both community colleges, that goes for HBCUs, that goes for predominantly white institutions as well. Yeah. And then obviously the last con is similar to my pro that I had, which is that there is a small Black community. As much as that's a pro, it can also be a con. If you're somebody who is of a minority community, then you might already know everybody in your specific community, and coming into a community that might not be every single person of your race or of your culture can be a little bit shocking. But I think that can also be a valuable thing. Like I said, I think that it's more of a pro than it is a con, but I want to make sure that people also understand it can be a con. Throughout this video, you probably can tell that there's more cons in quantity than there are pros. But I will guarantee you the quality of going to PWI definitely outweighs it all. I know that sounds weird, but bear with me. The main reason I say that is because the pros are long lasting. Like, you will make connections that probably last forever, and the cons are only temporary. Like, I feel like that's just in the moment. Like, you'll find a lot of ignorant people in this environment because they're learning, if we're being honest. And that's just like, yeah, nod your head, because they're learning, okay? They're learning to be better people. So who are we to judge? Who are we to say anything? At the end of the day, all I have to say to you guys is be nice, be kind. Think when you're picking your colleges, try to pick a college that you know will make you happy and has everything that you want. In terms of both academics and social life, just try your best to pick something good. Again, your college is gonna be your home for 4 years, guys. 4 years, maybe more, depending on who you are or what track you have. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm exhausted. Are you kidding? Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Alex is currently holding my phone for me, but I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. My camera's been dying on me. I've been trying to film this video forever, and I really hope you guys like it, okay? I'm working really hard. Anyways, I love you guys so much, as always, and tune in next time. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment if you have anything to say. Love you guys.